Welcome back to another episode of Uncommon Conversations. Today, I have my brother with me as a guest star. No, we're not twins. A lot of people say that. It's not true. But last week I talked about just kind of reintroducing the podcast itself and just discuss the new changes and what we're going to be doing from here on out. And this is kind of like a last minute decision, but I had some ideas for topics to talk about that I felt like he had a decent amount of knowledge on or experience with. So to bring him in and get his opinion, his look on things would be dope. And it's the first time having him on the show. You know, working together on something. But yeah. So first off, obviously, happy Memorial Day. Is that how you say that?
Memorial Day.
Yeah. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. For the people who do have off today, I hope you're enjoying your day off. And the people who work, I apologize. And your job is shit. Because
It's me.
yeah. But I mean, what do you do again? We'll do this. Introduce yourself. You know.
I'm unique. I'm his older brother.
Really, nigga?
27 years of age.
You don't have to say that you're my older brother. I don't think that matters.
27 years of age. I work in a hospital. I won't say which one, but it's an interesting job.
I'm gonna put it in words in the credits. I mean, in the editing. I'm not gonna say which one.
I like you hear your voice and mine like it's quiet. But I mean, yeah, that's it for my introduction.
Yeah, so you get that hospital life. So he works those long hours, those night shift hours. It's always draining. But I know. All right. So two main topics that I wanna kind of address. One of them being are just like overall mindsets and thought processes.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I feel like I said that so wrong. I hate saying that word. But just the way that people think, in my opinion, I feel like there's two forms of thinking. It's just like the people who pre-plan or just plan out ahead of time, and then the people who live.
The
like,
spontaneous people.
Yeah, I'm just let's see where it goes.
Right.
What do you consider yourself?
I'm more of a planner. I feel like in order to enjoy certain things, you have to plan it out ahead of time, so that way everything has a schedule. But if you just do it spontaneous, sometimes it's fun, but other times it could be shit. But the same thing kind of goes for planning, but it kind of gives you a sense of security when you plan ahead of time because you know what's coming up.
Facts. I was talking to my friend yesterday, and we were on the same page as like there's negatives and positives to both lifestyles. Where it's like you plan out so far ahead that you kind of stress yourself out with like multiple things to do when you have like when they're far out enough where you don't have to stress about them, but you stress about them because you already have it set in your plan.
Right.
And then even with the just like it is what it is. We'll kind of live day by day and enjoy life. Next thing you know, you get fucking hit with a haymaker from Mike Tyson with a problem that was building up, and then it comes that day and you're just like, oh shit.
Right.
So I was saying I've done both, where like I recently had it switched over to this spontaneous and just how I deal with it when it comes, and that was when I was just mainly focusing on like working out and working on like mental, physical health, and just as long as I felt good, looked good, I would be all right, and I deal with the problems as they come, and it backfired. So for me, I think the pre-planning aspect or the lifestyle is just 100 times better, just to know and have a game plan of what is going to happen, and then even further than like have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, just so that when all else fails, you kind of have something to fall back on as opposed to just fuck it.
Right. Like I'm going to Miami in July, and we have everything planned ahead of time. We have like a whole itinerary for when we land, like going grocery shopping, going to pregame. Like we thought everything out ahead of time, and we still have 2 months before that time where we have to go to Miami. So doing stuff like that for me gives you a sense of security and knowing that you already have a plan ahead and you're not going to be scrambling. Because on vacation, you're going away to have fun. So having stuff to do makes it a lot more enjoyable than just sitting at home and then trying to figure out there what am I
look at
supposed
this.
to do
Somebody
now?
come look at this.
You're kind of wasting time on vacation. You go to vacation to have fun and just chill.
Yeah, like even then, it just makes more sense, to plan out ahead of time. And even then, like 2 months from now, something happens or somebody falls out of the trip, and then you can accommodate that situation as opposed to just doing it like by the day, and then you pull up in Florida with no game plan, like shit, let's just, I don't know, let's go to the beach, and then you're just doing dumb shit instead of actually having fun on that trip and kind of enjoying it in its entirety, from actually planning out stuff to do, as opposed to just fucking walking by, seeing a food spot, and then going to the food spot.
Right.
Going to the beach, just randomly going to the beach and fucking around in the rains that day. You gotta have some plan, So I feel like someone who could just balance and live in like do an equal in between is just perfect. I mean, it's not easy, but when you do find that in between, it just makes everything better.
Like those spontaneous people, I can't. Like I have a couple friends that just like to do stuff randomly. Like they'll say, "Hey, let's take a road trip down to Cali or Texas," and I'm like, "How much money do you have in your bank account right now?"
Doesn't matter.
I don't.
Let's
Right.
just go. Like,
I got like $130. I'm like, so who's paying for gas and tolls?
you chip in together, motherfucker. You got the first.
You got more than me. I don't have that much. But that spontaneous thing for certain people, like I guess it's just kind of like it makes them feel alive, doing just random stuff, traveling to different places, and it gives them an experience to really like talk about later on, to say I did that. But I feel like planning is more beneficial because you still have those stories, but it's not kind of like a how it would be if it was spontaneous, because a lot more shit happens when it's spontaneous, compared to pre-planned.
Yeah, you get like you run into fucking Bad Bunny when you went to Puerto Rico just randomly because you just had like the jitters, and you're like, let's go somewhere, and then you ran into Bad Bunny, you get a picture, an experience that you could tell people, or a story that you could fucking share for generations. But we got our one cousin Anthony, and he travels a lot. London, Cali, consistently in New York. He goes to Canada. He goes to a lot of places, and he just he has that lifestyle where he could. Again, it's for work. It's for work. But he always shoot me a text. Yo, Cali, 29th of April. You down? I'm like, no, I'm not.
It'll be like 2 weeks away, and I'm just like,
I'm at the 29th. And it's the 25th. I'm like, I can't. And he's like, yo. And then like 2 months later, when he comes back, he'll be like, yo, going to London. I want you to pull up. I was like, when?
Tomorrow.
But y'all leaving next week. But I can't, bro. I got too much, I mean, maybe I talked about last week about the schedule that I have now with just work, school, work, and it's just like what, about like a 4 hour, maybe 5, if lucky, to get some rest in between those. So it's like, yeah, I'm not taking no trips anytime soon. But I can't wait. I would love to be on that playing field of just being able to fucking spontaneously get up and, yo, what's up? You want to go to Turkey?
No.
No. Maybe not
Out
Turkey.
of all the places, he chooses Turkey.
It came up to mind, yo. We talk about a lot of places in culinary, so. All right, how about, I'm trying to think
I
something.
want to go to California. Like, I know it's
That's not
like
in the
a
budget.
typical, like, I know, I heard it's expensive over there.
It's super expensive.
But I hear a lot of good stuff, and I hear, like, some bad stuff. But then again, everywhere you go, there's always going to be good and bad. But
Of course.
Cali, I feel like for sightseeing and food, it's a good place to go. I haven't been, but I definitely want to go. So that's definitely on my bucket list. So
Yeah, I definitely got to go to Cali myself. It's an awesome spot. I've always had an idea of moving out there. Obviously, that's not going to happen anymore because I've discovered it's not the best place to be. But just the experience. They have a lot of food places, which would be awesome, especially with my my background now that I have with culinary. I would love to go to the food spots out there and just see some of the cool things they have there, like on some tourist shit. The Golden Gate Bridge, fucking what other shit they have? I don't know. They have stuff. I just don't know about it.
I want to see
right
the Bruce
now.
Lee statue.
That's in Cali?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
See?
I forgot where in Cali.
Oh, fuck it, we'll go now.
Yeah, it's over there though. They have a lot of attractions. That's like the main one for like my own personal thing, but
Bruce Lee's the GOAT. You gotta go see a Bruce Lee statue. Like when you go to Philly, you have to see the Rocky statue.
I don't think I've seen it.
I mean, I haven't either. I barely. I think I went to Philly. I went to Philly once. I think. I forgot what it was for, but I went to Philly, and on the way back, I think I saw a comic book store, and I stopped and I went inside. It was a dope ass comic book store. I couldn't even do a name drop. I don't remember. It was a minute ago, but
I saw the Holyfield statue before I saw the Rocky statue.
Isn't that outside his house?
No, it's in Easton.
That's outside his house.
Is it?
That's his house.
He lives in Easton?
Easton by 10th Planet?
Oh, I don't know. It's just by that bridge that takes you.
I know where he lives.
I
know where he lives, and he has a statue outside his house. And my
some
boy,
self-centered shit.
He's in the military. Jamie, shout out to Jamie. He used to live there, and he said, Randall Holyfield lives down the street. You seen his house? I was like, no. He said it's the one with the big ass statue of himself outside. And now I drove by and I looked. I was like, oh shit, it's that. He has the gate that opens up, and you drive. I'm like, it's a lot.
Oh.
It's a lot to have that out here. It's not really a crazy ass like suburban area, but hey man, I would get a statue myself.
And that's another thing, not paying attention to certain stuff because everybody's on autopilot. So I feel like that kind of goes with more of the pre-planners because you're so focused on this that you don't take some time to like look around and really enjoy the scenery. Like you might see a store that you didn't even know was around your area because you were just focused on going to work. Like you woke up late or you're just on the way to work and you go to work so often that you just wake up at work and don't realize that you were driving 15-20 minutes. And a lot of people are stuck in that like autopilot, and that's where you end up. The people that say that their time flew by and they're like, you blink and you're 30 because they're so focused on like just work that they just get in an autopilot and they just keep going, and then eventually they're like, holy shit,
go to work, go home.
I'm 30 years old.
And then just the same. It's a circle.
No square.
You know
I think a triangle.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's not like a triangle. Triangle has like a corner in the end. This one is a circle.
It's a circle.
Fucking you just get so sucked up into your regular routine. You don't really take that time out to have fun or do stuff. So I guess like having that sense of like, and again, it's not necessarily being spontaneous, but it's just like knowing when you need a break or when you need to take a vacation, and then planning it. Not just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to Mexico. Like, all right, hold on. Got to put in the, you
got 6 hours of PTO.
Yeah. So it's just, planning out accordingly and whatnot. But it's not like it's not possible. People just, I don't know why it's so hard for them. But so going on to another topic, or just to kind of
steer the conversation.
Yeah, steer, curve, whatever. So, relationship wise, right? I know you have a lot of experience with relationships, more than I have. I think I've been in like 2 relationships, but this guy's kind of like a ladies' man. So, when you're with a girl or like, what are the signs? Like, what are the red flags for you? Like when you're talking to a girl, when you're in the stages of what is it, pre-dating, or what the fuck is it called? Talking. There's so many, they change the words every day. But
every generation.
What are the red flags? What are the toxic signs that be like, nah.
I think early jealousy is one.
That's a huge one.
You
don't even got to be in a relationship to know that.
Right, but some people are like, that's cute. Like, it's not.
No, that's
because it's kind of like they already built this like image of your future in their head. So now, like, if you do something that they don't like, it almost feels like that future is compromised, so they get jealous.
Put in the corner.
Or when you ask about the past relationship and there's all the stories about their significant other, but none about them. Like, they didn't do any wrong and it was all the partner's fault.
Which so sometimes is the case.
I don't know. I feel like there's realistically, you could leave a relationship. You're not stuck in it.
No, of course not. But there's always those people who want to see it work, who want that forever shit, and they seen it with this person, and they wanted to be with this person, and they try to put up with the bullshit, and
But
hopefully
at that
it
point,
change.
it's on them. Like you can't.
No, yeah, but it's not to say that they were the issue. The partner was the issue. They just try to make it work because they gave a shit, and they're just showing you that like, yo, I will try to make it work. I do care about people, and it's not like I'm just gonna dip when shit goes south. But it's just there's only so much you can do before it just goes to shit, and then it's just like, all right. Well, this shows like I guess their patience and attention to detail when they're with someone, but as opposed to you know, I mean, guys are shit. So are females. Females are terrible. I fucking
That's some sneaky mother.
bunch of pieces of shit. Cancel.
Gotta put the bleep so it's like you piece of.
Oh,
Nah,
my
so
God.
I think equally like men and women, they both have their share of toxicity.
It's terrible qualities in just overall people.
But-
I know, you know, for years, men's been getting thrown out into the light, but like the females have been hiding in the shadows. Like, yeah, y'all are some toxic motherfuckers, yo.
I think guys have it harder with life because we have to establish like ourselves.
This is always a fucking huge
And
topic for people.
Girls could just sell feet pictures and make rent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have to actually go to work and, you know, provide a living for ourselves and not only us, but then
That's like a roundtable discussion. I'm not gonna get into that with just two people because
because you know men are supposed to be the provider according to society's.
that's always how it was. Like, you know, that was
Norms.
just the
Right, but you know we're talking about women that are saying they don't need a man, but you know how to change your oil. You know how to unclog a toilet. Do you want to unclog a toilet? Like, there's just certain things that like we do on by ourselves, but we also provide security and also a helping hand when it comes to certain things that women don't want to do. But you have these women that want to be what's the term? Self-sufficient,
Yeah,
so bad that they're
independent,
shitting on every single guy that
I don't need a man
doesn't
in my
have
life.
this. But meanwhile, like, a lot of girls don't have a lot of the same shit. Like,
Yeah.
some girls don't have a car, and they're talking about they don't want to do that works at McDonald's. You can't even drive to McDonald's. You have to walk there. Like, I don't want to hear it. So it's just like more mindset of the generations, and you know, modern relationships are not. And granted, like, generations change with time, like, you know, morals and whatnot. You know, we didn't have OnlyFans back then. And I'm over here saying we like I'm fucking 40. But, like, they didn't have... we.
back when I was younger.
Back in my day. You know, they didn't have OnlyFans back then. So, like, seeing it now and just seeing how easy it is for women to make income off of, you know, exposing themselves, or just... You know, like I said, selling feed pictures, it's insane.
Is it? We're just with any aspect. It's just so much easier to make money. It's so much easier to kind of be independent. But it's just like independence it's just so much different now than it was before. You know, independence, being able to pay your own bills and not need assistance or help, and kind of just, you know, live on your own, which people do, but they just do it in their own ways. And then there's situations where, you know, you might be able to live by yourself and pay your own stuff and do you, but then you got those little tasks or jobs or duties that you don't want to do. So you call somebody or you pay somebody to do it. And 9 times out of 10, it might be a man that does it, you know? Not to shit on anybody, but it's just like, again, like a lot of people, huh?
You're canceled.
But a lot of people don't like doing tasks like that. Like, I know my girl, if I clogged the toilet, she wouldn't touch that shit. If she clogged the toilet, she'd be like it's just certain tasks or certain things that are in that environment, or like, you know, cleaning out food from the fucking sink. Ugh, nobody wants to do that shit. I got to be in culinary school and people be looking at shit like this. I mean, bro, there's such thing as soap. You clean it out and wash your hands with soap, you're good to go. But I'm not shitting on females. I mean, not all females. I mean, there are some that are just completely incapable of doing simple tasks, and they just, you know, They're fucking airheads. But then there's certain guys who are just fucking airheads.
You're both just awful.
Canceled.
Hey man, it is what it is. Like, I met some people. I definitely got to get my cousin on here at one time, but he has a lot of experience with dealing with people just in his industry. With he's a I don't want to say a videographer, but he does a lot. And he deals with a whole bunch of, he deals with artists, he deals with just other people in his line of work, other photographers, and it's just the incompetence that he tells me about other people. It's just like, a lot of incompetence comes from men, just being know-it-alls, and it's just like, damn, bro, like, if you don't know the answer, look it up. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you can ask, but like, I guess men just have that bravado that they can do it themselves. And instead, like, it's not hard to ask for help or, like, to not know the answer. As opposed to females, I think females are more, understanding of that point where they just, if they don't know something, they'll ask.
No, they jump the gun.
No, what do you mean they jump the gun?
Like, a lot of the times it's an assumption rather than...
No. As opposed to not knowing stuff. Like, there's
doing
people...
their own research?
Huh? Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of the girls that I know, they'll, like, just be like, did you know this happened? And I'm like, did it? And I'll look it up, and that shit was a complete lie. I'm like, where'd you hear that?
Instagram.
My friend told me. Like,
she say.
I don't know. There's a lot of, like, I think it's more of just lack of knowledge and people being so used to just gossip that if somebody tells them that they feel is a credible source, and they'll just take that and run with it and then tell whoever they would normally tell. And the same thing goes with, like, relationships when people are going through stuff. You always have somebody that you go to
Facts.
to talk about certain things. And some people you can't talk to about it because either they just don't listen or they give the worst fucking advice.
Yeah, they just say some dumb shit.
And it's just like, it gives you a reminder, like, this is exactly why I don't ask you for advice.
Like, I've had issues with my girl, or we have arguments, and like, I always need like a second or third opinion on just like, did I say something fucked up? Am I in the wrong? So there's certain people I'll ask because I know they won't be biased, and there's certain people I can't ask. Like, I'm be honest, like, my one friend, she probably watches these too, I'm not gonna lie, but Shy, I go to her, I went to her on certain occasions with certain arguments I've had, just to get like a, did I fuck up? Did I make? And I just see her answer, and she fucks with me, and I appreciate her, but I know that her answer most likely will be biased, like she's gonna take my side. So I can't 100% always go with what she says. So then I ask a second friend, and she'll be more like, nah, bro, you fucked up. But I don't care. I can admit fault. I can apologize for my wrongdoing, or say if I'm in the wrong. It's harder to see when you're in the wrong because nobody wants to be wrong.
Especially if it's something that, like, you fought really hard to get your point.
Yeah. Like, how many times have you admitted fault in any argument or instant?
Nah, there's times where I'll admit my fault, but there's times where, like, you ever have those moments where you're, like, having a conversation and, like, you're wrong, but you have that pause, like,
yeah,
should I keep going?
Like, they hit you with some shit, like, and you be like, I'm talking, like, what? It doesn't even fucking matter.
Try to direct it to something else.
That happened to me a few times. I remember I used to get into arguments, like, you know what I mean. And fucking, they'll snap back on some click, and I'll be like, I'm talking to you. Like, yeah, you are. Yes, you are. You are talking.
It's like, who are you
and
talking
I'm listening
to like that? Why are you yelling?
I'm listening. All right. Now think about it. Are you hungry? Because it sounds like you're hungry. Let's go get some to eat.
Just trying to, like, gaslight to, like,
yeah.
You want Chipotle or not?
Because, I don't even know where this conversation went to, I thought we were going to get food. Females, they're so indecisive. No, I'm joking. No, you guys are. But, all right, so yeah. Well, we kind of drifted off, but, like.
Before he continues, in order to trick a female into admitting what she wants to eat, you got to say, guess where I'm going to take you. And you only have two choices. Whatever choices that she picks, that's where she wants to eat.
That's a good one. I remember I heard that somewhere, so. You go
it
drop
was me.
It was me, I'm pretty sure. It's another thing that guys do. They take credit for shit that doesn't It's not theirs.
Damn right. Do it again.
But yeah, just from the initial question about toxicity, or just, you know, I can't say that I have a lot of experience with relationships, because again, I've never been in I've been in like 2. He has more, so that's why I ask about, you know, your red flags, or just red flags in general that you think are red flags, and just how do you avoid or evade toxic situations. Because like some people, you know, some people love to be in relationships. Other people just prefer just to be single, live the bachelor life, which is cool. Do you? But for the people who want stuff to work, like how do you?
I don't think you can necessarily avoid it, because there was somebody that I was texting that it was actually on Hinge, but I was talking to them, and then, you know, we were talking for a while, so I gave them my number. And then they were just avoiding texting me for the longest time. And then I forgot what the conversation was, but I didn't like where it got to. So I was like, hey, you know, I don't feel like this is going to work out. And I unmatched her. So rather than ghosting and then, you know, being a dick in a conversation, you know, I just communicated and said it's not going to work out. But she texted me from the number that she supposedly didn't save, and she cursed me out for communicating. But, you know, I don't feel bad about it for the simple fact that, like, I communicated that it wasn't going to work out. So, for me, you really can't avoid it. The best thing is just to be yourself and really just communicate. And
really, if yourself is not a piece of shit, then try not to be yourself.
No, like, people know what that means. Like, everybody has a moral compass. I don't care how grimy you are. You have that little voice in your head that tells you not to do or say certain shit, and you ignore it. But, you know, people are gonna be who they are, you know? So that's more of just, you figure out who somebody is through actions rather than, like, just romanticizing what it could be off of, like, a couple things, like to get you a coffee in the morning just because, like, as she's coming over. Like, it's thoughtful, but how long are you actually going to do that before you're like, you're wasting all my money?
I think the main issue people have when they go into a relationship or look for a relationship is that they already have like a set image of or just like the way that they see it going, or how they want their person to be, and it's just like, it's not a movie, you know.
Expectations.
Yeah, the expectations are just set in stone. It's just, that's what makes you, that's really kind of fucks people up on the whole relationship situation. So it kind of is hard when you have a predetermined outlook on how somebody's going to be or how the relationship will be. So it's kind of just best to just, if you get along with somebody, you have some stuff in common, just go for it, see how it works. And then from that point, you do what you can.
And don't assume that your partner's a mind reader. So
facts.
A lot of
communicate.
Just like to
communicate.
A lot of people like to just get mad about something and then not say shit, and then they'll ask them and be like, nothing. Don't worry about it.
I'm good. I'm good, B.
If somebody's like, all right, and then you get mad at the fact that they said okay rather than trying to force you to tell them, like, a relationship is not no chess match. It's not a video game. Like,
I won.
You don't, like, if you feel some type of way about something, like, just say it.
Yeah.
It's either you talk about it, or you don't see eye to eye, or it gives you a reason to break up. But either way, you communicate and you figure out if it's gonna work or not work. But being toxic that shit should have been left in 2010.
That shit would always be a thing. But I can honestly say, you know, from experience, I do that shit a lot. But, you know, I've been better. I communicate. I talk more. I try to express my feelings in a non-aggressive. Not that, okay, that sounded wrong. Like, I'm not abusive or anything like that. I'm just like, I try not to yell or get aggravated and just start an argument. I don't, you know, I just try to. Well, I feel like this and this and that. It's just funny. You know, like, you ever see those like little scenes in movies where it's like, where they do the couples counseling and they do like the little exercises, was like, tell them how you felt. You know, well, I feel like you were being mean, and you weren't taking my words of affirmation in the way that I meant them.
It's like, well, I feel like I was being mean because you were being unreasonable, and then it's like a back and forth.
And then it's just like, you know, and then you know, my scene would be like, you know, well, I feel like you're being a bitch because you're a fucking bitch.
The therapist is like, okay, let's take it.
But yeah, you know, I've gotten better with that stuff. But you know, it's just don't be toxic, man. You know, we'll jump into that more on another episode for sure, because there's so much more to get in depth on with the whole relationships and toxicity and just trying to find a partner who's actually worth your time instead of just fucking dabbling, you know, feeling out the. I don't want to feel out the water. Okay, I want to dive in, not hit my head on the shallow fucking floor. You know, I want to dive in, get some depth.
It doesn't matter if like they're the best looking or whatever the case is, best at sex. The main thing,
I mean, that one.
it's a bonus. But the main thing is, you know, you kind of have that, like I said, that moral compass that tells you like if it's not gonna work or not. Sometimes you just ignore it. Like you'll be sitting down eating with them, and you just don't feel that like connection. But a lot of people are just like, you know, I'll just have sex with them.
It comes with like, you know, just regular conversation. You know, if it bounces off back and forth, and you guys is jokey, it's a good conversation that flows well, and you share stories, she shares stories, or he and he, she and she, they and them. But you know, when you just have that organic flow of conversation, it just makes it more genuine. Like, oh wow, I actually enjoy talking to this person. I actually would like to talk to this person consistently, and that builds into more. And the next, you know, their feet are above their head. I don't know.
I just got that. They're reaching for something on the floor.
Yeah, for the kids out there.
You're playing Animal Planet.
I'm the gorilla. But that is more than enough. And like I want to say again, I hope you guys enjoy your Memorial Day. And I'm not gonna say thank you
For having thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, but you know, obviously thank you for pulling up last minute. You know, he got work today. He got a 16-hour shift, so I appreciate it. But enjoy your Memorial Day. Have a great week. I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I'll see you next weekend. Peace.
Stay untoxic.
Facts.